Today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of different trading styles. I mean, listen, there's a million different ways to skin a cat, as they say. I love my cats. I would never skin them. But anyway, there's a million different ways to trade, whether it be NFTs, crypto, futures, options, Forex, high price stocks, low price stocks, true penny stocks. The great thing about, the markets is the availability of all of these different instruments, time frames, liquidity. I mean, so the thing is that the reason we trade all these different things is they have movement. Something that I think a lot of people, I think volatility sometimes gets a bad rap. Like people hear, oh, volatility, or you watch, you turn on CNBC and they're running their stupid markets in chaos little graphics trying to scare everybody, which is all they can ever do and never give you any good trading advice. But, it's always hyperbole, it's always hype, it's always mania. But like that's what we trade as shorter term traders, okay? You want volatility. You want big moves to the upside so you can go long. You want stocks that collapse late day so that you can short them. Without movement, you can't make any money. Like when people talk about like the emergence of AI in trading and stuff like that, I'm like, I hope artificial intelligence never takes over trading, and I don't think it ever will. I mean, the whole point of markets is humans believe one thing, complete opposites. One think it's worth this, other thinks it's worth this. But like if you think about as a thought experiment, if AI ever did completely take over markets, stocks would never move. There would be just logic, like maybe up 1 penny, down 1 penny all day long, because there wouldn't be any hype and wouldn't be any mania, wouldn't be any panic, wouldn't be any fear, wouldn't be any greed, wouldn't be any of these things. So we love volatility now to a certain extent. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Different trading styles and different trading time frames. So when I think of short-term trading, there's basically 3 time frames. You've got day trading, which is much like it sounds, in and out of the same stock the same day or maybe the next day, like trading what we call like a gapper or a gap down. So basically 24 hours, unless it's the weekend, obviously. But when you think day trading, it is that window of about 24 hours, recognizing small but very volatile moves consistently over time. But, the draw or the bonuses of that is when you're talking about these day trade stocks, I mean, they make huge moves. I mean, we've had, 50% runners every day, 500% runners once a month. We've had 1,000% runners a couple times this year. I think CXAI was like a 3,500% runner, okay? Now, the thing is they explode high, but they pull back hard. That gives us, again, day trading opportunities on both sides. So the range is there, the opportunity is there, but the biggest drawback, and many of you that are struggling with day trading, this might be one of the biggest things, is you struggle with the time management aspects of these things. I mean, if you're trading some stock that is up from $1 to $5 and just skipped to $8 and is going to 20 and then tomorrow is going to collapse back down to 2, like you can't walk away from the computer. A lot of people ask about trailing stop losses and stuff like that. I'm like, man, if you're trading low float mania stocks, you just have to understand that part of the deal is you don't walk away. Like you don't go to the bathroom, okay? You don't look away from the screen. And that works for a lot of us. A lot of us that are at the screens, that are full-time traders that sit there all day long, we love that because we can nail the move, make quick profits. If we're wrong, we're out quickly. Like that's another great thing that a lot of people don't realize with these big moves is, as a seasoned day trader that's seen it all, that made every mistake, has all the scars, like when these stocks reverse, whether you're long or short, you gotta take that stop and you gotta move on. So from a time management standpoint, we love that because typically you're either right or wrong very quickly, okay? Like you're right and you're taking profits in 15 minutes or you're wrong and you're stopping out in 5 minutes. So now I've only spent, plus my prep time, I've only spent, half an hour or 45 minutes trading this opportunity. Now I can leave and go do other things, trade another stock or go out for a walk or go to lunch with the wife or, review my data, whatever. So we like that volatility because you're either right or wrong very quickly. Remember that. Being wrong is not bad. Remember, this is another one to write down. In trading, being wrong is not bad. What is bad is staying wrong, And that's, again, I know I'm kind of harping on this point, but that's the beauty of volatility. Like, you're wrong right away if you're wrong, and you know it, and you move on, and you move on to the next opportunity, and you don't become a bag holder, etc. Now, so that's a pro and a con, really. The pro is profits fast, wrong fast, move on fast. The con is many of you are probably part-time traders. Many of you are probably new to this. And as a part-time trader, the boss calls, okay, you're in a meeting. It's like you can't, if the boss is standing at your office door, you can't be like, hey, shut up, I'm in a position. He's gonna fire you, okay? So that's a bad thing. Also, if you're new to this, these wild moves can just intimidate you and scare you, and you become that deer in the headlights, as we say. Like, the deer in the headlights knows that something is happening that is bad right now. It hears the noise, it sees the lights, but it just basically panics, and that fight or flight takes over, and they just stand there because their brain can't compute what to do. That's a lot of new traders. So now all of a sudden, because of these wild moves, you panic, you don't have a stop, and you're still in it, and you're down 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000 when you never intended to be out that much. So when we're talking about these volatile stocks, trade them over time, build the discipline, build the skills, trade small size, like paper trade. Paper trading has pros and cons. What I tell people most to do with these really volatile stocks is just trade really small size. That way, if you're wrong, you lose $10, okay? If you're right, you make 25. Now, are you here to make 25 bucks a trade? No, but at least if you're wrong, it's only 10 bucks. And then you can learn over time, and you can always scale up. We trade very, very liquid stocks. If you're trading 20 shares today, you can trade 200 next week. You can trade 2,000 next month. You can trade 20,000 shares next month or next year. Okay, start small, learn the volatility, learn to take a stop, learn how to be wrong. So that's day trading. Really demands attention and focus. Okay, now again, if you have days where you don't have any meetings and you're working from home, day trading. Now, if you do have a day job, if you are busy during the trading day, if you do have to occasionally leave the desk to go to a meeting or go to a call, a lot of people think they can't make good money trading because they can't day trade. So I think of swing trading. Swing trading, you'll always see me do this Venn diagram. So the idea between swing trading is we've got a circle of volatility and a circle of safety. And if we know what to look for, we can identify that intersecting section of stocks that give us the ability to make close to day trade like gains with much less volatility. So it's basically we're turning back the volatility a little bit. It's not, they're not going to run 600% in a day, but at the same time, I think of it as two dials that are linked, okay? So as you turn back the volatility, you're basically turning up the safety. They're linked together. They do not move independently. So as you turn down the safety, the volatility goes up. Okay, so what we try to do with swing trading is kind of find that little sweet spot where we're balancing those dials where we can see 20, 30, 40, 50% gains, but not have a stock that drops 80% out of the blue and you're that deer in the headlights. So that being said, I've done a lot of videos on swing trading. One thing I would like you to do is check out the Daily Income Trader system. I'll put a link below, but in the Daily Income Trader system, we go over day trades and swing trades every single day live on webinars. So check that out. The point of the video is to get you to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But when it comes to specific setups, check out that link. We do videos every single day. Okay. Last type of trading that we'll talk about, and probably isn't attractive to most of you, and I don't blame you, but that is, long-term investing. Listen, I'm a huge believer in long-term investing for your retirement money, for that dividend type stock, that long-term safe idea. All of you should have a 401k or an IRA, and you can make. I think it's important to drive your own account. You don't necessarily have to pay the advisor, but the idea is that I think everyone should have exposure to the stock market. I think it's very important, but in quality stocks. And even an Apple, as much as I love Apple, love my iPhone, a Tesla, an Amazon, a Google, all of these quality companies, really you'll go insane if you look at them every day. like I think that's something that people kind of get frustrated with is, actually today, literally today, the new iPhone came out. The day we're recording, it's September 12th. And everybody's yapping about Apple, and it's up like 1.5%, which is great. That's great. If you've got a 6-month or a 1 year or a 10-year or a 20-year timeline. But I think a lot of people, and maybe it's you, you're like, oh, new iPhone's coming, I'm going to buy some Apple. And all of a sudden you're up 1%. And then tomorrow it's like down 0.5%. And then the next day it's up 3%. And it's like, and you're looking at your account and you're like, man, I'm not going anywhere. So that was actually me back in about 2005, 2006. I thought the key was watching CNBC and trading these real stocks. And I would go an entire year and I'd be up like 4% or 5%. Be like, well, I'm green, but what's the point? Spending all this time and this effort, to make single-digit percent and basically match the S&P 500. So that being said, have some exposure to the stock market, but don't fall for the kind of the myth of making big money on these stocks as much as I think you should hold them. If you want to make big money in stocks, check out the Daily Income Trader System. Live every single day, going over the most volatile day trades, swing trades, etc. And that's really the way you learn to move the needle on a small, intermediate, or even large account. I mean, listen, even if you have a huge account, good luck, trading Apple, okay? Enjoy your 1 or 2%. So that being said, my friends, 100% live 6 times a day during the week, couple times on weekends, whatever time works for you. You could be West Coast time, you could be East Coast time, you could be Hawaii, you could be Asia. We're live going over the best trading opportunities. Click that link and check it out.